Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's story is one of those rare soul-shaking moments that prove kindness has power far beyond anything money can buy. It all begins in a quiet little diner on the edge of the city. Nothing fancy, nothing special, just a place where people stop for a warm meal and a break from the noise of life. But what happened inside those walls left a billionaire speechless and changed one waitress's life forever. Imagine this small diner, the kind with squeaky stools, humming lights, and the smell of fresh coffee floating through the air. It's early morning, the sun barely rising, and the staff are preparing for another ordinary day. Among them is Emily, a hardworking waitress in her mid. She's the type of person who carries a tired smile, one that shows she's been through more than she ever talks about, yet still finds a reason to be kind. Emily works double shifts almost every day, not because she loves the job, but because she desperately needs it. Her mother is sick at home, the medical bills are piling up, and Emily is doing everything she can to keep their little world from falling apart. She never complains. She never says a word about her problems. She simply serves every customer with patience, gratitude, and a sincerity that people rarely see anymore. That morning, as she wipes down tables and refills sugar jars, the bell above the diner door jingles. Two men walk in, one frail and elderly, the other sharply dressed and clearly wealthy. But it's the older man who catches Emily's attention first. He moves slowly, leaning heavily on a cane, his hands trembling slightly. His eyes hold a kind of distant sadness, the kind only time can create. The younger man, his son, though she doesn't know it, yet guides him gently to a table. The son's name is Daniel. And yes, he's a billionaire. A man known for his empire of tech companies, luxurious lifestyle, and the kind of reputation that makes news headlines the moment he sneezes. But today, he's not here as a billionaire. Today, he's just a son trying to spend breakfast with his father, whose health has been slowly deteriorating. Emily walks over, her smile soft, her voice warm, as she welcomes them. Daniel barely looks up, too absorbed in emails and business calls to care about anything else. His father, Mr. Reeves, looks exhausted. Something about him seems fragile, vulnerable, like life has worn him thin. Emily notices right away that he's struggling to lift the menu, his hands shaking too much to hold it steady. Without hesitation, she kneels beside him, not standing over him, not treating him like a burden, but lowering herself so she's eye level and respectful. She gently helps him read the menu, describing the meals in a soft voice. Daniel glances up briefly, surprised. Most waitresses just toss a menu down and walk away. But Emily, she's different. "Would you like some help, sir?" she asks kindly. Mr. Reeves nods, clearly grateful. Daniel says nothing, just returns to his laptop, tapping away. To him, this is just breakfast, nothing special. But for his father, this moment means everything. After taking their order, Emily checks on other tables, but she keeps glancing back, not out of duty, but out of genuine concern. She notices that Daniel leaves the table often to take calls, sometimes for several minutes at a time, and each time he walks away, his father sits alone, looking a little smaller, a little more lost. When breakfast arrives, Daniel is gone once again, pacing outside with his phone to his ear. Emily places the plates gently on the table and looks at the older man. He reaches for his fork slowly, his hand trembling. He tries again, but the fork clatters onto the plate. Emily watches quietly for a moment. She doesn't want to embarrass him. She doesn't want him to feel helpless. But she can see the frustration building in his eyes, so she steps forward, speaking softly so no one else hears. "Would it be all right if I helped you?" His eyes widen, almost ashamed, but she gives him that small reassuring smile, the kind that says, "You're safe. It's okay." With a shaky breath, he nods. Emily pulls up a chair beside him. She cuts the food into small pieces, speaking gently the whole time, and then, with patience and respect, she helps him eat, never rushing, never hovering, never making him feel like a burden. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know that the man she's feeding is one of the wealthiest individuals in the country. She just sees a father struggling, a human being in need of kindness. And outside the diner window, Daniel suddenly stops walking, his eyes fall on the scene inside, the waitress sitting beside his father, helping him eat with more tenderness than he's seen in years. Something hits him right in the chest, a feeling he hasn't felt in a long time, guilt, because while he's been busy running a multi-billion-dollar empire, he's barely noticed how much his father has changed. How much help he needs, how often he hides his struggles so his son won't worry. Daniel ends his call abruptly and walks inside. He stops at the entrance, watching. Emily has no idea he's there. She's fully focused on his father, making sure he's comfortable, chatting with him softly like an old friend. Daniel feels his throat tighten. This stranger is doing more for his father in 10 minutes than he has done in months. Not because she has to, not because she's being paid extra, but because she cares. When Emily notices him, she quickly steps back, embarrassed, apologizing for overstepping, but Daniel shakes his head hard. For the first time that morning, he actually speaks to her with sincerity. "You weren't overstepping," he says quietly. "You were helping him more than I ever have." Emily blushes, trying to brush it off, but Daniel's gaze lingers. He's stunned not by her looks, but by her compassion. After finishing breakfast, Daniel helps his father to the car, but before he leaves, he walks back into the diner. Emily looks nervous, thinking maybe she's in trouble. Maybe he's upset, but Daniel isn't angry. He's moved, and what he tells her next will flip her entire life upside down. He asks her about her job, her life, and she hesitates at first. She doesn't want pity. She doesn't want to share her personal struggles with someone who looks like he's never known hardship. But there's something different in his tone now, something human. And eventually, she opens up, just a little. She tells him about her mom, the medical bills, the double shifts, the dreams she put aside because life got in the way. And Daniel really listens for the first time in a long time. When she walks away to take another order, Daniel quietly pays for his meal, leaving a normal tip so she doesn't suspect anything. But before he leaves, he hands the owner an envelope with strict instructions. Don't give this to her until after my car pulls away. The owner, confused but obedient, nods. Daniel walks out, helping his father into the car. As they drive away, Emily returns to the counter, and the owner hands her the envelope. She frowns, wiping her hands on her apron before opening it. And inside, her entire world freezes. A check, not for $100, not for $1,000, but for $50,000. Enough to pay off every medical bill. Enough to let her breathe for the first time in years. Enough to give her mother the treatment she's been praying for. But that's not all. There's also a handwritten note, one that makes Emily's eyes fill instantly with tears. It says, "You reminded me how important it is to care for the people we love. Thank you for treating my father like he mattered. Your kindness changed us both today. Use this to change whatever you need in your life." Danielle gives Emily. Feels her knees weaken. She sits down, overwhelmed, the check trembling in her hands. She can't believe what she's seeing. She didn't help his father for money. She didn't expect anything. She just did what she believed was right. And somehow, it came back to her in the most unexpected, life-changing way. That afternoon, another surprise arrives. A black car pulls up outside the diner. The driver steps out, asking for Emily. Everyone stares curious, confused. Emily steps outside nervously. The driver hands her a second envelope. Inside is a letter, inviting her to a private meeting with Daniel, not for anything romantic. Nothing inappropriate, but for something far more incredible. He wants to hire her. He wants her to be the personal caretaker for his father, full-time, with a salary that's more than she's ever dreamed of. A job that includes health insurance, time off, and full medical coverage for her mother. Emily, shaking, can hardly speak. Later that week, she visits Daniel's mansion, a place more luxurious than anything she's ever seen. But what shocks her most isn't the wealth, it's the warmth. Daniel's father greets her with a smile that lights up his tired face. He remembers her kindness, and now, for the first time in a long time, he feels seen, valued, and safe. As the weeks pass, Emily becomes a crucial part of the family's life. She brings joy back into the home, laughter back into the halls, and comfort back into the heart of a man who once felt forgotten. And Daniel, well, something unexpected begins to happen. He starts spending more time at home, more time with his father, more time watching the way Emily's presence transforms everything. She doesn't treat his father like a rich man or a burden. She treats him like a human being, something Daniel realizes he hasn't done nearly enough. Slowly, Emily's influence begins to change him. He becomes softer, kinder, more present. He takes his father on walks, sits with him at meals, asks about his day. Emily never tries to replace his role. She simply supports them both. Gently, quietly, with the same kindness she showed that first morning in the diner. And one evening, something unexpected happens. Daniel finds Emily in the garden, sitting quietly after a long day. He joins her, thanking her once again, not just for helping his father, but for helping him reconnect with the man who raised him. Emily smiles, insisting she didn't do anything extraordinary. But Daniel disagrees. He tells her she gave him back something he thought he'd lost forever. Time. Time with his father. Time he can never repay. As months pass, Emily's mother gets better. Her debts are gone. Her life is finally stable. And Daniel's relationship with his father becomes stronger than ever. By the end of the year, Emily isn't just an employee anymore. He's a cherished part of the Reeves family. Someone who brought light into their lives when they needed it most. And although she never expected anything in return, what she gained was far more valuable than money. A new beginning, a new purpose, and a new place where she truly belonged.